Hey, Matt Rodriguez here, and you're watching America's #1 cure for insomnia, the Diamond Cutter Wrestling Podcast. And with me are
Jack Knives from Jack Knives Reviews.
GP Chan, also known as Ninja Jupi, or you can call me a very happy Wendy. Sort of. Okay, but I'm going to turn it over to the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that's too sweet to be sour, Johnny Rodriguez.
There we go, guys. So we're going to be going into AEW All In Texas 2025. But before we go into that, as usual, we're going to go into some of the wrestling news here and there, and we'll see what's going on. So, of course, we had other big events during that same weekend. I think the Ring of Honor happened first, right? So just real quick, going to the Ring of Honor pay-per-view. Any clip notes there, Jack? Because I missed out.
I did watch it. There were it was a pretty decent show, A to Z. Obviously, for the fact that you could really tell they were like so focused on All In that unfortunately Ring of Honor was kind of almost an afterthought. But considering that, the two standouts were 100% the Athena versus Thunder Rosa match, because it wasn't amazing. Like, it wasn't like as peak as I thought it was going to be, but it wasn't at all bad. It was like a legit, oh, this is a great match. That was a good match, but the one that's absolutely probably if I were to say one match to watch on the entire card, hands down, was Takeshita versus Bandito. Like, legitimately two of the best pure athletes doing their style, and unlike some other more popular wrestlers, it wasn't just like flips as much as you would think it was. It was a lot of grappling, and like they balanced it out in like a flowing way. But I don't want to spoil it if you guys haven't seen it, but it legitimately, if there was one match on that show to watch, it would be the main event of Bandito versus Takeshita, and it was such a banger.
What's the stipulation for the match? I don't recall.
The title match, right?
It was just for the Ring of Honor title. I
Bandito has he got off of Jericho.
Now, one thing I do want to find out,
and he did retain. He did retain.
One thing I want to find out, because it's going to be similar to something that will happen later on in the show. We'll get there when we get there. But one thing that happened, I heard, is that Red Velvet had to turn in her, relinquish her title and everything for another match. But what was the reason? Yeah. Was she injured, or like why? Why did she relinquish the title?
There was
the Ring of Honor TV title, right?
Yeah, it was the if I can remember. Sorry. Looking at my notes here.
Ring of Honor Women's TV title, I think.
Yeah, so it was there was a part, it was before the show. So it was at some point, it was before the show even started. So I guess she had been determined to be injured. Whether this happened on a taped show or in training or something, but they do know that like basically her injury was to the point where they couldn't, unfortunately,
clear her
they couldn't clear her to wrestle, so they forced her to vacate. They basically just didn't want to make any injury worse, with the possibility of she may need surgery, not 100%. So basically, New Japan, Ring of Honor management basically just said, okay, well, we have to defend this. It's Supercard of Honor. It's a big show for us. So unfortunately, they had to vacate the belt from her, which led to a last-minute fatal four-way with Mina Shirakawa, Miyu Yamashita from Tokyo Joshi Pro, Persephone, and Yuka Sakazaki. So it was literally, my head was just like, I was literally like, is this just like indie bingo? Because I'm like, I've seen all of you wrestle live, and I'm like, you're like, it's almost taunting me, like, you're like, hey, you know these girls you like? Yeah, well, they're all wrestling together, and you don't get to see it. I was like, I want to be there. But it was a great match, leading with Mina Shirakawa winning the vacated Ring of Honor television champion, Ring of Honor Women's World Television Championship. So that is her first singles belt she's won since leaving Stardom. The last belt she had in Stardom was the Wonder of Stardom title, but that was for a very brief period of time. So Yeah, hey, that's good for her. I'm happy for her.
So on top of that, we also had WWE main event, Saturday night main event, and Evolution.
Yeah.
Was Evolution what night was? Because it's not the same night,
Well,
right?
so what happened was actually so it was already pre-scheduled to be that weekend in Atlanta. Was basically, they said WWE week, and I was like, oh, okay. So they had, in this order, Friday night SmackDown, then Saturday from 12 to 3, they had NXT's Great American Bash. Then at 5, Saturday night's main event. Then Sunday, Evolution, and then Monday they had Raw. So it was all that. And they had like a bundle pack. My friend went, he got a bundle pack for like $2,000, which I'm like, okay, but for 5 shows for $2,000, that's a pretty damn good deal. I'm not throwing that kind of money around.
And
5 shows for $2,000.
I want to add on that the other good thing is that they're like 10 hours each for each show.
Exactly. Like, and I'm like, they literally blew by. I was like, damn. Like, I was like, oh, we're already on this match? Oh shit. And like, in a good way, that was like, the pacing was really well done. There wasn't too many in between spots. There was a lot for Saturday night's main event. That was more Saturday night's main event, as my friend put it, is Saturday night's filler show. I'm like, yeah, fair enough. Let's see. Great American Bash did really, really well. Then Saturday night's main event was later that night at 5. And
that was a big
major
retirement match.
The Goldberg retirement match, which thank God. I mean, like, this is the thing. A lot of people were mad. Oh, how come they're going to have Goldberg fight Gunther? They're going to have like Jay couldn't beat Gunther. And people don't understand this. It wasn't that Jay couldn't beat Gunther. It's that Jay couldn't make Gunther look good. That's the reality of it, is because it's one thing to be able to beat a guy in the ring. It's a whole nother thing to wrestle a bad wrestler and make that bad wrestler look good. And Gunther 100% made Goldberg look amazing. Like, you know how good a wrestler you have to be to make Goldberg look good? Like, legit. Like, I'm like, can we all agree he's an amazing wrestler if he can do that? That's like AJ Styles, how he can literally wrestle a mop and make the mop look like a world contender. Like, that's that level of skill.
Mm-hmm. He made what's his name's mop look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so during the show, Seth Rollins unfortunately had a very scary moment where he did a back somersault. His normal spot, his knee completely buckled. He was in the corner for a while. Everyone thought, oh, is this part of his gimmick? Is he leading it? But it went on for so long, and they called an audible right there and then. So calling an audible in wrestling terminology is when they inform the ref, hey, match can't continue, quick finish. So he was fighting LA Knight, and overall it was a good match, but Rollins got out of the corner. Knight hit him with the BFT, 1, 2, 3, the end. It was like, everyone's like, oh, and Knight was like visually pissed, like actually pissed, because he's like, fuck, man, he didn't want the match to end that way. So I'm like, man, poor guy. But and then during the Goldberg match, Goldberg had speared the referee in a wrong angle. I believe it was Charles Robinson. I could be mistaken, but it led to him having a hairline fracture in one of his ribs. And then, of course, they cut off his broadcast of his retirement speech for NBC, and it still played on Peacock, but it ended on NBC.
Yeah,
which I find hilarious. And apparently he got really upset. He's been whining how he got screwed. I'm like, oh, shut up. Oh my God. So, and he's like, oh, this is truly the end of a guy. You'll never see another Goldberg around. And everyone collectively was like, yeah.
I mean, even back in the 90s with WCW, I used to watch every once in a while. I just never liked Goldberg. Sorry to people who were big fans of him. I just did not care for him.
Well, I liked Goldberg back then. I mean, I don't know about now when he got older and stuff, but I mean, you remember him, Johnny, right? We were watching WCW Thunder. I mean,
Thursday Night Thunder. I used to watch Thunder every Thursday. But
let's see Johnny's thoughts. Yeah, wasn't
But-
Goldberg
so
badass back then and whatever?
I think so. I don't know.
I know. Well, I will say though, looking back on both, Sting was given a ton more dignity, and rightfully so, in his final match than Goldberg was. In a way, that's not anything to do with Goldberg. It has everything to do with the fact that Sting earned respect, and the crowd was like, because I know only because he's from Atlanta that the crowd actually cared. But you could tell as soon as the match went ding ding ding, half of the crowd just left. They're just like, bye. I'm like, because everyone collectively, and I was watching a couple streamers react to it. You have no idea how many streamers online are like, oh, thank God. Whew. Like, we were all like, oh, good. They're not going to have Goldberg, Gunther job to Goldberg. That was really what it was. It wasn't a matter, can Gunther beat Goldberg? It's like, is he going to job? It's the equivalent of like, it's the equivalent of like, imagine Tony Khan really, really loving that Costco guy, whatever the hell his name is, that guy, and going, you know what? We're going to make Okada drop the belt to that guy. And everyone will go, fuck you. like, it's not a matter. Like, I mean, legitimately, everyone would go, no. Like, it's like, well, but he's a former wrestler and burby. I don't care. It's Okada. It's the Costco guy. This should not be a debate.
Okay, but anyways, the other thing you were saying as a result of the Seth Rollins thing, he's out indefinitely.
Even though he's
Allegedly.
the Money in the Bank,
Yeah, they said
Champion.
that he actually said himself in a recent interview where he was like on a sports thing for like ESPN. He was saying how he has a full brace on from his knee down, and that they don't know the exact severity yet, but they do think he's going to be out indefinitely, even though he has the Money in the Bank, and he has it till June of next year to cash in. They still don't know if they're going to force him to vacate it or not. So I don't know. It's very much up in the air. And during the Evolution show, which I guarantee every wrestling fan should watch, it is pure great women's wrestling, and I'm not joking when I say this. It is probably as close to a perfect pay-per-view you could actually have. The crowd responded well. All the women did a great job. There wasn't any bad moments. And it even ended in a shocking moment where Naomi cashed in the main event against Io Sky, and she's now the world heavyweight women's champion. And I'm like, what? Like, everyone was in shock. But that match with her and Rhea legitimately Rhea and Io reminded me of Stardom matches. Like, it was to that caliber of like, holy shit, this is like a top tier match. And then to end it in a crescendo of like, well, didn't have a winner. And the fact that the show ended with both of them walking to the back, holding each other and crying at how good a job they did. And everyone was like cheering. And yes, it did not sell out. But, and I'm not making excuses, but you also have to remember, literally across the street was a sold out stadium Beyonce concert. So take that with a fistful of salt. Just saying. God. And there was even a guy with a sign. There was a guy with a sign that said, "I got lost from the Beyonce concert," and I'm like, genius.
No,
I'd rather go to the. I would rather go to Evolution.
It kind of sucks that Gigi Dolan and Corey J got kicked out too soon, because they could have been on this show at least one last hurrah before they got, I guess, cut or whatever. But
I believe so. I mean, like, honestly, like, even like I said, I could have seen them in the Battle Royal or something like that, because they had a lot of great spots. It was a great, like I said, it was an overall a great show. Legit. Even Nikki Bella did a good job, and I was like, oh god, wow. I mean, she wasn't in there that long.
They actually had a what do you call it? They actually had a match in Game Changer Wrestling that same weekend. I mean, I'll eventually buy it and watch it later, but they actually had a Gigi Dolan versus, or I guess now they're back to the regular names, Priscilla Kelly versus Elena Black match at Game Changer Wrestling. So I'll check it out one of these days eventually. It's just too much stuff going on. It's a weekend of wrestling. It was like,